obviously getting lapel grab is getting lapel grab. But the way how we apply a mune ski, we call it mune ski instead of katadori. We apply it like if it was Naroski Age. Okay, so if you were like, hey, you motherfucker, and they come and they shove you. So the idea with ukenagaeshi is so slow. It's not trying to raise this. Okay, you're basically trying to absorb, and you're turning your hip into that, and then your elbow drops. But because you're absorbing technique, okay, you're taking his energy and you're blending it with your own, so you're creating one thing. So that's Masubi, right? So if he just attacks and he attacks and stops and draws back, that's when other things happen. You don't see a lot of a molte. A molte ukenagaeshi is this. Okay? But a lot of times people end up doing that, trying to do this blocking. This has to be very relaxed to the point that is your arm okay?
Yeah.
You know. So you want this to be more of this type of movement. Okay? I'll go nice and easy on this. See, a lot of people try to do that where they bring, well, you got this elbow concept here. Yeah, absolutely you do, but that's not really the idea of, if you're thinking elbow, then you're doing that. Okay. But if you're thinking deflection and absorb, you're thinking this type of movement. So he goes and shoves, shove, shove, shove. Don't hit me with your vagina. See, exactly what you're talking about. 1, 2, 3 reps, and then he thinks it
realistic.
That's where it becomes realistic. So when he goes to shove, good, good, good. Harder, 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 harder. Oh, you don't. Oh, you okay? Yeah. I tried to be nice. Stand up, stand up. I tried to be nice. If it's not one thing, it's the next. Yeah. So the idea of that. But it's just, it almost looks like it's a flicker. Because if it's strong, the whole Aiki connection, if it's too strong, as he does it, this is pushed. This is going to collapse into your center and basically cut through your center line, which is your hasoji. Now I'm going to roll back on my heels. So the idea is you let this...
And you shift your center a little off of that line to come in.
But a lot of it's turning your hip.
Turning that hip. Okay.
So when you're doing this, you're turning your hip into that.
Okay.
Turning your hip and then you're dropping this.
Gotcha.
Let me use Nick, because I want to avoid that. So even from a yokomen standpoint, okay, so yokomen, you're absorbing this. Okay, so as you absorb, this drops.
Gotcha.
And what we've seen, so go back to Mune. So when you go to do this, if you don't capture this and they stay there, when you go to turn, you end up reaching.
Okay.
You end up reaching to grab that. The trick with this is, once you get here, if you do this, you're reaching to grab it. If he keeps going, right? You're reaching to grab that. You know how you combat that? You drop the arm.
Okay.
Because if it's here, right, and you're having a hard time grabbing, as you drop the arm,
it comes back to you.
It comes back to you and it falls into your hand.
Okay.
So you're able to catch that to this point, and then obviously you have kotegaishi.
And you settle into it, you're not thinking of clutch grabbing.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
So as you drop the elbow from here, as you drop the elbow, you get that right away.
Sure.
You'll capture that quickly, where if you don't drop the elbow, you're doing that.
Now you're leaning it out.
You're overextending. So it's like, how am I able to grab their hand if they're coming in fast? How do I do this when they're doing that?
Right.
The key is that you want to be able to drop the elbow and then get into that position and then get into that pin. So you got to drop the elbow.
Which then it's very similar to
that.
Yeah.
Yes.
like pinching, dropping, and then start that control. So you can get to that distance by dropping.
Yeah. But you want to think.
He does the Tenkan step.
Yeah.
You pivoted that foot around.
Yeah. But you want to think, and I notice this a lot with people when they go to, their hand is open.
Right.
This is open. You got to think this is a sword deflection. So you want to think sword deflection. So when this happens, this is a sword deflection. So your fingers can't be loose.
Okay.
This has to be strong. So when this starts to drop, see he's pushing, as this starts to drop, you're able to capture that, and then the throw happens.
Gotcha.
So you want to be able to draw their hand down. You're 6'4", so you got a long arm.
Yep.
But if you're able to drop that elbow, it shortens
I've
that.
always found sinking works better than stretching.
Yeah.
I mean, there's time to stretch, but me stretching, I shouldn't be stretching to drop somebody out.
Exactly.
Sinking works better.
So this, and I'm kind of over exaggerating
No,
this.
I get it, I get it.
So you get this, so you don't want to get to the point of this and you're
Right.
doing that. You just want to get to the point of
Go
this.
Altissier out of it.
So this blend happens. Because when you move with this, this blend happens.
Sure.
You know, and then you get that right away. You okay? So when that, you know, this blend happens.
Sure.
That had to hurt. You okay? You said break fall, no roll.
Yeah, I know, but
Somebody's getting a big bottle of Advil tonight.
Yeah.
I'll attack with this.
Yeah, yeah.
You attack with that?
Okay.
Sure you want to attack with that? So this idea. See, I don't even want to fuck with that arm.
Yeah.
Because that's your bad arm. Yeah. I won't throw it. But it's just this idea that, you know, when you move, you have to get out of the way.
Right.
So as you move, this drops. But it's not that.
Right.
It just
Just
drops.
Yep.
And then application.
Sure.
You know. But you got to have this tight.
Sure.
Because you got to think sword.
Yeah.
Because if this is loose,
Yeah.
the last thing you want is that.
Yeah. I had a fellow student that his pinky looked like a lineman. You know, bent out because he caught, you know, in a
We had a
randori,
student
he
that-
caught that same thing and it just dislocated and it never reset. And
We had a
Somebody in this room had that happen to them.
we won't mention
I'm not
any
gonna say
names.
who it was.
Yeah. And I won't mention who pulled it back into place either.
Yeah.
It was disgusting. But, so you'll see this a lot with Matsuoka. Hands are always, you know, this, doing this nice and tight, you know, and he does this wide stance. When he sets up, he always pulls it, he always blouses his hakama. He blouses his hakama. But as he does this, if you watch him and pay attention, he brings his trail leg up.
Right.
So what that does is, that shortens his stance.
Yeah.
You don't see it.
And back foot dictates range, so he just closed the range on you without showing the front foot moving or the head
Exactly.
Yeah,
to the body.
deceptive.
Yep.
He
Very
does that
deceptive.
shit all the time.
Yeah.
Where'd he get it from? Got it from Seagal.
Right.
But when you see other people do it, like this is big movement, but they see this right away.
Right.
But when you're doing this, he starts sneaking this up.
Yeah.
And then when he goes through technique, it's like his footwork, like
He's already there.
when you're here, this is hard to do this.
Right.
When you already had that wide of a stance.
See, then that's the other thing about boxing and footwork with Aikido that I was gonna mention you guys. You know, you never see boxers.
Right.
Oh, never.
Yeah.
It's here.
Yeah.
So this is a range. If you move this one foot, you move this
Uh-huh.
You
foot
bring
the
it
same.
with.
You recover.
Yeah.
Bam, bam. That's why you have your base, and they do a lot of thinking. They
Yep.
do a lot of fucking things, especially Lomachenko.
Oh, yeah.
That
Oh, he's-
Russian
his
style,
footwork is amazing.
sidestep, but it's all in Tenkan. It's
Yep.
not different. So
But you don't,
that makes sense.
see that footwork in traditional because I've noticed a lot of traditional guys they have a bigger stance.
Yeah.
You rarely
can
see them
move
bring
from
up
there.
trail leg, and this is kind of like that boxing footwork that Matsuoka does. It's called sugiyashi, continuous step, okay, or the combat shuffle.
Yep.
So you're doing this. It's real simple. You're shuffling, whether you go back or forward. It's still the same thing. So when you're doing technique with ukenagaeshi, it's movement, and the thing is your hip. It's not so much this. You really have to emphasize that. So as this happens, you emphasize that.
Sure.
You emphasize the hip movement of doing this because this is like very similar like ukenagaeshi.
Right.
The sword movement, ukenagaeshi. So he comes through this ukenagaeshi movement
Sure.
and you have that right away. So give it a shot.
Nice.
Shoulder change, all right.
I guess I can't take impact on this.
You know
side.
you're
This
never
side.
going to let this down. You fucking hurt my uke.
Well,
Folly on this
You
side.
killed my teacher. You see how your hand's loose? See, it's still loose. You don't want this loose.
See, and that's the thing, like, you know, like this.
But look how you.
Yeah, I need to get it from the
Elbow. No. Nope. Nope. You don't.
Do Ikkyo to yourself.
Oh, okay. I got you. Yeah. So you're doing the roll and then accentuate the hip.
Okay, did you hear what he just said?
What's that?
Do Ikkyo to yourself.
Ikkyo to yourself.
Think of, okay, so, start to play, no. Ikkyo. You do Ikkyo. Okay, Ikkyo. There's your movement. Ukenagaeshi.
Gotcha.
There's your movement. If your hand is here, because a couple times he came over the top of your arm.
Right.
Your elbow is what keeps them away from hitting you.
Oh, I get you. Okay.
There's the deflection. So when the shell comes in, here's the deflection. So you want to think you're trying to get this. So don't inadvertently roll this over. So once you have that, once this comes up, then this drops into the hand. But the elbow is your shield. So this is the shield.
Right.
Funny.
So
that's exactly.
so don't do what you did this fucking morning. Do what I'm showing you right now.
But it's funny because the you know, that's pretty much the way the strike still
Yeah.
it's the same way.
I'm putting my head right in it.
And I brought that up that right away you can elbow somebody in the face. But this is, don't think of combat strategy, think of how you're going to have to train Matsuoka. That's why I'm showing you this. Because Matsuoka is going to look at that and go, yeah, but it's not going to be what he's showing us. So get in the part where you're grabbing with one hand. So you're going, okay, I don't know how to speak Spanish. You want me to say this in Spanish? Do not do strikes. Do this. Okay? Do this. Get to the point of where you can grab. Don't do strikes. Because you're blending it with what you did this morning. So that's why I was letting you guys do that. I don't want you to incorporate anything that you did this morning. I want you to learn the fundamental of this.
All right.
Get the wrist though. Get the wrist. See, now your elbow's coming up nice. Your elbow's coming up nice.
On the other side?
Yeah.
Yup. Yup. That was a little low.
Yeah.
That was a little low.
Remember,
I'm still the hands are still working. Let me show them.
If you keep your thumb open, you can't grab like that. You know what I'm saying? If you try to grab like you can't grab like
Monkey
that.
grab?
So we tend to keep the hand open so when he attacks, as this happens, your elbow, so if he keeps coming, the elbow drops. As the elbow drops, your hand now
It's on top.
becomes inside. Because I'm not doing this, I'm dropping the elbow.
Okay.
So this all stays in line. So as I drop, I'm not doing that. I'm doing this.
Elbow drop.
Now this puts me on the inside of the
Pulls the
arm.
whole thing down.
And then the thumb locks on top.
Okay.
And then you have, because this doesn't go loose to where you're doing that, this would naturally be strong. Then you have this bridge to do this.
Gotcha.
So once you come through that, you have that right away.
Okay.
Okay, and then, right? What you did earlier this morning, the Rosgage, or even Kokyunage from there. So you have that. Go a little bit slower. Yeah. There it is, yep.
No, you're good. It's in a knitting class.
Did you say that earlier? This is in a knitting class?
That's one of my favorite in
I
classes.
think you said that earlier. This
Yeah.
is in a knitting
Not a
class.
knitting class. Let me do this real slow and smooth.
Yes. But keep moving.
Yep.
Keep moving.
You just nice and smooth.
try not to rush it. Go smooth.
Say you're hugging a lot, which is
Okay.
which is fine. So when you get in the habit of this, you're hugging a lot.
Okay.
And this goes back to what we did this morning.
Sure.
But if you get to the point of here and then this throw happens there.
Sure.
Now remember, this is the TenShin Aikido
Yep.
methodology of
Yeah,
this. So you come through with that, this throw happens like right away.
Okay.
Because normally what I used to teach is this movement to here, they come all the way around and then you throw.
Right.
Footwork's changed. If you watch anything that Seagal does, his footwork is not. That's like basic.
Sure.
His footwork gets to here, okay? Then it's instantly throwing him that way. It's that way.
Yeah, backwards.
Because it makes him spin faster.
And that V step.
Throw that. So once you get here, it's that, then the throw.
Okay.
You okay?
Nice.
So it's, right from this idea of that, right away.
Sure.
Instead of this 10 con 10, you okay?
Right.
This 10 con 10 con thing, it's just you get that, just that
You
point of
set up your
this,
arena.
and then the throw happens.
Sure.
Because it makes them spin faster.
Yeah.
Because now they gotta,
spinning is easy to not
they gotta
go.
do that.
Yeah.
So it's quick. So this movement has to be smooth.
Yeah.
This is the hardest hand deflection to teach
Yeah.
in TenShin Aikido because a lot of people miss the idea of the elbow being up. So you tend to get hit a lot.
Yeah.
But if you roll the elbow up, you have that protection. And this is, punch,
Right.
like Kowski, same thing.
Right.
Other side? The idea of that. See, then when you get good at this, then you can do this.
Sure.
Then you can do that.
Right.
You can incorporate that stuff. Or you can, incorporate that into ukenagaeshi.
Sure.
Or you have 1-2 punch combination. Yeah, 1-2. Where you have that to where you can move.
Sure.
So too much power, speed. 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 Then you move in with that.
Gotcha.
So even if it's just a single jab, right? Single jab, you already have that. See, that's that Kiriage movement of that. Instead of doing that.
Right.
It's Kiriage movement, this. And then when you incorporate both, so punch, pull back with that hand, right? Punch, pull, are you punch and pull back with that hand? Punch, pull back. I'm already on the inside of this.
Sure.
However,
By the way, that head, the choke with the head thing.
this,
That was the very first thing you showed in a video, and I'm like, I'm taking that to my dojo. We're gonna practice that.
It works.
That is gold. That is really fantastic.
that video I still have, but that's with Dominic.
Yep.
Yeah.
I won't post it because he's in it.
Yep.
It's
So
some
I
Kojima.
remember when you first showed that. I'm like,
'Cause
that's sweet. And all
it's-
you bring that chin up, and that
You bring
just
that up?
puts on
And they can't see
the
you.
blood choke. Yeah.
They can't see you because when you get to this point here and you're trying to get the rear naked
Yep.
and they stop you from doing that, you go right to here.
Exactly.
And when you lift, he can't see you. Plus, it's you okay? He loves his nipples puzzled. So you can sit there and grab him, but then you squeeze.
Sure.
And if you have developed arms, and I'm fortunate to have that,
Right.
it takes up the slack because you flex.
Yep.
And then you draw back, and they can't even see you.
Right. You hide the head, so if they're
Yeah.
reaching back, they got.
They can't even see you.
To reach. Yeah.
So, and the way that I saw you, you just doing the thing kind of,
Yeah.
and it makes sense to, like.
Okay. For which one? Shoulder.
Like, once you're here, if you're to control, he's not gonna turn around, not gonna pull him.
Yeah.
He just step back.
Yep.
Yeah.
There you go.
So it makes sense with the sword work.
Mm-hmm.
That's
But like I said, the idea is that once you give him the camera, Bob. Bob. So when you have Bob. So if it's a shomanuchi or whatever, and you're doing the idea of this ukenagaeshi, right? So you're thinking from here, ukenagaeshi, and you move. At that point, this controlling aspect of that.
Yeah.
So when you come through here, it's the throw is there.
Yes, exactly.
So So the idea of that, right? The idea of this to where it's here, then you can move in for ED okay? Or,
whatever.
ED or, ukenagaeshi. and then this throw happens
Step with the, yeah.
there,
Right.
type of thing. You know, so it's the movement and the attack has to be there, though. I mean, you know, the honesty with the attack. So just a mune. So good. You know, mune, you're moving in with this. You're trying to capture and then the throw.
Sure.
You know, but the idea is you got to get this is an absorption. This is a late hand deflection.
Okay.
It's not a,
You know, you're not taking initiative.
this is late. He comes to grab, this is late. Opposed to being here, and you're like, okay, I see it. This is late. Suriage is late. You know, other side? You know, Suriage movement is a little bit different. You know, Suriage movement here, well, is different. Because you have Suriage, which side? Big side. You know, you have Suriage this way, you have Suriage this way. Okay? You have Sotogiri, right? You set up to where you're going to attack with the left hand again. You know, Sotogiri. You know, the idea of this Sotogiri, right? Kiriage, right? Suriage, right? Ukenagaeshi, to whatever. You know, or doing that movement to that movement.
Sure.
Type of thing. You know, Yuri-ori, Sun-kill. Right? Oh, sorry. I don't want to throw you. This. So choke. But you still have fingers.
Right.
You know. It's your bad hand. No, it's your left hand. So it's,
They're all bad.
they're all bad. So when you're thinking ukenagaeshi movement, this has to flow.
Right.
It can't be.
Right.
This has to flow.
Nice.
Try that again. See if it works for you.
Yeah.
You said you got to be out here at 1, right?
Yeah, around. I mean, these became my priority. Don't worry. I'll get to the tests later.
Oh yeah.
Let's tell bad it's snowing outside right now.
Yes,
Yeah, it's not bad. It's all melting.
on das? On this.
Even when you use a sword, you have to curl your hands just to flip the blade over so you don't hit blade on blade. So with that in mind, this has to turn kokyu, right? This has to turn and roll. Now in the beginning it's kind of big, so you can articulate it.
Yeah.
Later on, yeah, it's still there.
Just that little one.
It's still there.
Yeah. So,
But it has to
keep
be
strong hand. So you want to think, like what he pointed out, Igyo. So when this happens, this is creating Igyo, and then Tenkan, you drop the hand and capture. See, you keep capturing on the leg. Because you keep going back to what you were doing this morning. Stop doing what you were doing this morning. Don't capture it. See?